What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western York Wednesday here on the channel. And today I am reviewing two beers from the Wayland Brewing Company, and they're out of Orchard Park, New York. And we have their Pub Ale and their Astral. So, their Pub Ale is an English best bitter that comes in at 4.2% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, time of review. This can is approximately 3.5 months old. Meanwhile, their Astral is a hazy IPA that comes in at 6.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, time of review. This can is just under 3 weeks old. So today is kind of a different Western York Wednesday and different review in general because this is slightly, I would say, a brewery showcase. I really haven't done anything like this before where I review two beers from the same brewery that don't really have anything in common other than the fact that they're brewed at the same brewery. And I might start doing this a little bit more going forward where I take a single brewery and I just kind of grab a couple beers from them and review them in the same video and not do separate reviews, just kind of talk about the brewery, talk about the beers. So if that sounds like something that interests you, post in the description box. Post in the comment section. You can't post in the description box, I can. Anyway, post in the comment section, let me know if that sounds like something that would interest you. And not just Western York Wednesdays, I'm just talking about all reviews. It's something maybe I'd sprinkle in maybe like once a month or maybe once every couple months. Just, you know, in a situation like this, where this is one of the newest breweries here in the Buffalo, New York area, I thought, hey, let's grab a couple beers from them and just review them and see what they're all about. So as far as Wayland is concerned, they are, like I said, one of Buffalo's newest breweries. They, I believe, opened up their doors in late April, early May of this year. So they're about 6.5, 7 months old. And recently, they had a mixed six-pack of their stuff show up to one of my favorite local bottle shops. So I grabbed the two beers that sounded the most interesting to me. Hazy IPA, let's see what they're doing with the hazies, but also an English bitter. Like, you don't see a lot of American breweries brewing this style, let alone packaging it. So, I thought that was pretty cool. Now, I've heard good things about Wayland in general, from their beer to their food. Their brewery is apparently fantastic, just a beautiful brewery. So I have to get out to Orchard Park at some point and check them out. If Orchard Park sounds familiar to you, that's because the National Football League's Buffalo Bills play there at Highmark Stadium. But yeah, it's I want to say Orchard Park's about a 40-minute drive for me, so it's not like I'm going right down the street, but I'll have to check it out at some point. Anyway, so yeah, we have an English best bitter and a hazy IPA. We're going to review them separately, like I said, so we'll just put this over here like this for now, and we'll get into the best bitter first. So again, they call it a Pub Ale English best bitter. They say drinkable English ale made with Maris Otter barley, Golding hops, and our favorite ale yeast. So that's all I need to hear. I'm sure it's going to be pretty good at the very least, hopefully anyway. So let's crack this one open. Now, I will say, even though these just showed, wow, that went everywhere, that these just showed up, I'm going to say maybe like 2 weeks ago, maybe like a week and a half ago. This is an older can. This is a can that was canned back in early August. So that was surprising to me. I thought it would be a little bit fresher, but it is what it is. Let's get a pour here. All right, we'll do something like that. That, my friends, looks like a hazy IPA. That's what that looks like. I don't drink a lot of best bitters or just like regular bitters in general, ESBs, but I can say that I don't know if they should look that hazy. And certainly I feel like they should be a little bit darker, but maybe not. If we're talking about like a Boddington's or something, like a Pub Ale Boddington's, like as far as like a big macro, or I shouldn't say macro, but just like a more well-known, that's obviously a lot clearer than this. But yeah, that has like a hazy dark orange color. Hold it up to the light. Yeah, that looks like a hazy IPA. About a finger of this off-white, super creamy looking head. Let's say this, looks aside. Let's see what it smells and tastes like. Oh, tons of like bready and biscuity malt notes. A little bit of like an herbaceous, almost like tea note. Ooh, yeah, biscuity and bready for sure. Yeah, it has an earthy, like kind of tea, like hop character. Yeah, I mean, it's doesn't smell all that complex. It's 4.2. This is, again, they're trying to replicate a Pub Ale, an English best bitter that you would drink at the pubs in England. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like, yeah, I've done that like in my life all the time. No, here in the U.S., stuff like this, you don't really see this. This is not commonplace, right? But At the same time, I will say that even though I really don't know what it's like to be in England drinking straight from the source of, any pub there and having a bitter and just, quaffable bitter, just drinking it back, I will say this smells nice. Yeah, I like that earthiness for sure. Anyway, it smells pretty good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Yes, super light. I love the complexity of the malt. It's almost like a slightly like toasty, like a slightly toasted like white bread into a biscuit, then into like a slight toasted dark bread. It's really nice. Yeah, I could drink a lot of these. Body, it's kind of like lower side of medium body, 4.2%, nice. The mouthfeel, it's definitely crisp on the palate, has a big smoothness to it. I'd imagine you'd be drinking a lot of these on cask, so it would be a little bit lighter. And I think this does have a little bit of a lighter carbonation. It's like mild to moderately carbonated, but I think drinking like a beer like this on cask in England would probably be fantastic, or any kind of beer on cask in England would be fantastic. Maybe not any, most. But yeah, right up front, a lot of malt character. Again, it's very biscuity and bready. A little bit of a toasted kind of malt character. Underlying like slight like toffee vibes, like a very slight caramelized kind of sugar. Halfway through the palate, I get a little, like a touch of like a fruitiness, like a apple or a pear, some kind of like orchard fruit. On the second half of the palate, I get that earthy, like herbaceous tea note. It finishes semi to full on dry with a mild to moderate bitterness, despite the fact that English bitters and, you got English special bitters, English best bitters, English bitters, they're really not all that bitter, especially if you're somebody who enjoys craft beer. You'll drink them and be like, oh, that's pretty well balanced. That's what's happening here. Yeah, it has a mild to moderate bitterness, semi to full on dry finish, sweet up front with all that malty goodness, balanced out on the back end. Super easy to drink, like absolutely super easy to drink. Like I have no issues with this. Listen, I can't stylistically tell you what this should be because outside of the commercial like bitters I've had and ESBs, it wouldn't be fair to compare something like this. I want to get to England at some point and obviously drink a bunch of beers in a bunch of different pubs and have more of an understanding of what's going on with an actual just strict pub ale. In the US, it's not something you really see, but I will say this. For a beer, this is nice. I do enjoy this. It seems well made. I love that herbaceous tea note, very well balanced. The biscuity, malt profile just plays well with everything. It's a really nice beer. So Wayland's Pub Ale, their English Best Bitter, and both of these, by the way, I forgot to mention at the beginning, are part of their workshop series. I would give this a low 4 out of 5. I go 3.9. I think it's just a nice beer. And like I could see if like you were local to Orchard Park and you wanted to just have like an after work beer, something that you're just going to drink down, no questions asked, like you go in here, have 2-3 pints and just enjoy every second of it. So I think this is a pretty well made beer in general, but stylistically, not going to say they're bullshit and tell you I should know exactly what this tastes like because I am an amateur beyond belief. And despite the fact that I've reviewed almost 2,000 beers, again, a lot of styles like this, they just aren't very, they just don't brew them a lot in the US, period. And if they do, they're always on tap. So you'll never see commercial examples just randomly show up at your local favorite bottle shop or beer store. Anyway, yeah, 3.9 out of 5. I think that's a well-made beer in general. Now we're going to get into the hazy, which I have more of an understanding about. And I would say based off that beer and enjoying it like I do, I'm hoping that this hazy is good. They do say on the back, I don't think I read it. So this one is brewed with hoppy ale brewed with Strata, CGX, and Mosaic Cryo hops, as I almost spill it everywhere. I forgot that there's beer in here, Joe, you idiot. Yeah, so that's pouring out as you will. So I wanted to pick this up because it's 6.5% hazy. I feel like, if you want to see how a hazy beer producer, does with any kind of like hop forward beer, you should definitely pick up at the very least like a 6.5% IPA. More often than not, you want to go with the pale ale to see kind of how it is. But yeah, anyway, it doesn't look much different than, this is darker, don't get me wrong, but the haze level is very similar. Yeah, so this has this hazy yellow-orange color, a finger of a bright white, super creamy looking head. Can't see through it. No clarity to speak of, super hazy. Looks beautiful as far as like a hazy IPA goes. Let's get a nose. Oh, good sirs and sirettes. That smells fucking crazy good. Wow, this is fresh, just under 3 weeks old. Man, let me go back. Dank berries. So Mosaic is screaming. There's strawberry. There's papaya. There's fleshy fruit like honeydew melon. Underlying citrus, orange, grapefruit, tangelo. That dankness is really nice. Dank berries for sure. Mosaic's one of those hops that, you know, over the past 10 years has changed a lot for me personally. I know other people are of the same opinion where, you know, you used to get like blueberry and then you'd get like different berries and then you get dank berries and then, you know, sometimes I'm getting blueberry now again, sometimes I'm getting red berry. And this is just harkening back to when I got dank berries for sure. And I think maybe it's the combination with the Strata giving me like dank strawberry. Dude, this smells fucking top tier. Wow. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Really nice. Really nice. Nose was better, but I'd imagine this is probably dry hopped, maybe even double dry hopped, maybe even triple dry hopped. The nose was so intense and aromatic and just like over the top. I knew the taste wouldn't live up to it, but I will say that it does bring a decent amount of the aroma into the taste, which is nice. Body and mouthfeel. Buying this is like medium body, 6.5% is appropriate. The mouthfeel is exactly what you kind of want out of this. It's soft, it's smooth, has a creaminess to it. Not over the top, but definitely body and mouthfeel are in the realm of what you're looking for a 6.5%. You know, hazy IPA. The taste, everything carries over. It's just differing levels of intensity. Like right at the forefront, I'm getting hit with like a little bit of like bready, biscuity kind of malt character dives underneath the palate. And then right after that, I get tangelo, orange, definitely citrus fruits. Then it transitions into, for me, a little bit of papaya, maybe honeydew melon, maybe like an overripe mango. And then when halfway through the palate, that dank berry thing hits. And it's just like a dankness marrying a batch of strawberries. You know, it has that combination. And then it continues on through the palate and the strawberries kind of dissipate for me. And on the back of the palate, I'm left with a dankness. There's an earthiness, a little bit of a floral character. It has a mild bitterness, semi-dry finish. I would say the one issue I have with this beer right now as I'm drinking it is that it might be a little bit too sweet. That dank, mild bitterness on the back end is nice. I'd want to see more of a moderate bitterness or more of a full-on dry finish because I do think this leans a little bit too sweet. It would impede the drinkability for me personally, 6.5%. If I want to drink 2 or 3 of these, I think that it'd be tough, you know, the second or third can. And they're in 12-ounce cans, so I'd probably drink a couple. But I couldn't, you know, session that beer. Like if 6 packs, I'd probably drink a couple and that'd be it. Not 6 packs, a couple cans. Let me clarify, couple 6 packs. No, couple cans, yes. Really nice though. Aromatically speaking, this is like a 4.75 out of 5. Like it's fucking top tier. Overall though, as a beer, I'm still gonna give this a nice score. So Wayland's Astral, again, part of their workshop series. I have no problems giving that a low 4.25. I'll go 4.2. Very good first impression for a hazy beer from them. Strata and Mosaic both shining, I think, in this one. I think at the end of the day, kind of what I was in the mood for when I picked this one up. So yeah, anyway, price point and availability. I looked on the website. This is $13 6-pack. This is a $15 6-pack. Fine by me. I think I paid $2.50. I think it was $2.49 for that can, $2.69. You know, they got to make a little bit money when they get distro. I get it. But for $2.50 for a can of that, $2.69 all day, every day. That's fine. And at the brewery, $15 for a 6-pack of a well-brewed IPA like this. If you transition this into 4-packs, you get a 4-pack plus you get an extra 8 ounces. And let's say that you did have a 4-pack of this and it was $15. That's a great price. I'm not comparing them to these breweries, but I'm saying like other half shows up, even from the brewery, a lot of other half 6.5%, $16 to $18. Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit cheaper. And yeah, and again, I paid $2.69 for this can. Like, I think it's a good value. So yeah, 4.2% too. You can't tell, 6.5%. You can't tell, so hide the alcohol pretty well. I would say this. I need to get out to Wayland, try out some of their stuff, get a couple flights, you know, maybe get some food, maybe shoot an on-location video, Joe. Figure it out, Joe. Okay, figure it out. Figure it out. Please figure it out. I always say I don't like doing on location videos. I feel weird. I do. I was considering though, and anybody who watches this, if you make it this far, bless you. But if I do some on location videos and I do like voiceovers, would that be cool? Because I feel like talking in person when there's a bunch of people at the brewery or wherever I do on location is kind of awkward. So if it feels like something that, or if I can do voiceovers and you guys would be cool with that, let me know. Please let me know. Anyway, yeah, Wayland. If you're in the Buffalo, New York area, or in the Western New York area in general, I'd say check out their stuff. I don't know how far the distro is going to be as far as like availability. They're a relatively new brewery. Some of their stuff just showed up here. I think a couple other bottle shops, Brewed and Bottle in Lewiston, Premier Gourmet in Amherst, New York. I think they showed up maybe at Aurora Brew Works, but in East Aurora in New York. But if you can get a mixed 6-pack of their stuff, like showed up at Premier and Brewed and Bottle, try them out. If you can buy individual cans, try them out. I think they're worth a go based on these two beers, even though stylistically speaking, I couldn't tell you. I just tell you it's a well-made beer, and this is quite delicious for what it is. So if you've had anything from Wayland, if you've been to the brewery, if you've tried out any of their beer, post it in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about them, because I'm going to check them out, try to, in the next couple months, and go there and see what is up. And yeah, again, like I said at the beginning, if this seems like something that's you enjoy these, I hate calling it a brewery showcase because it's not like I have like 4 or 5 different beers from the brewery, but reviewing a couple different beers that aren't stylistically even remotely close to the same, but just talking about the brewery. Maybe it's a new brewery, maybe it's an old brewery, kind of tell you what I think about them or what they mean to me or whatever. Let's just say like I do this with like a Great Lakes, 2 different beers from Great Lakes Brewing Company out of Cleveland. I would, kind of tell you my history with the brewery and my favorites from them. And I think it's a little bit more than just a review and more of like talking about the brewery as a whole. Again, if that's something that you think would interest you, please post in the comment section, and I'll try to do more of these as we go forward. A lot of people probably won't even click on this video because it's probably like 15, 20 minutes long. It is what it is. I review 2 beers. Most of my videos are like 8 to 12 minutes long in general, so you double that and here we are. Anyway, huge thanks everybody stopping by for another Western New York Wednesday check back. And next Wednesday, don't know what I'm reviewing, but I'm sure it's going to be from the Western New York area because that is the name of, I was going to say the show, but I guess, I don't know. I'm leaving. Till the next one. Cheers.